Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm joined today by my beautiful wife, Marion. And we are going to teach you how to make something that'll be quite handy for your Thanksgiving feasts. Now, it can technically be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. The alcohol would be added at the end, if you so choose. But what are we making today, Marion?
Apple cider.
Apple cider. And how are we making it?
On the oven or stove.
On the stove. Apple cider made on the stove rather than purchased in a jug. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. But prepare yourself. You will now experience it. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. Let's switch the camera around and look at the stuff. Okay, Marion, so we got some ingredients here. I see one of them seems to be some sort of pillar. What is that?
So this is fresh pressed apple juice. Do you want... I mean, really, you can get any kind of apple juice, but I like to get the pressed kind.
What's the difference? What does pressed mean when it comes to apple juice?
Well...
Does it? I'm assuming it just means that they, like, squashed the apples to get the juice out of them, rather than, like, made it from concentrate?
Exactly, yeah. So it's not from concentrate.
Okay. Now, what is this down here? This seems to be some sort of very, very cut-up fruit. Like somebody just came at it with a bunch of Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I pretty much did that.
Wow. Where'd you get Wolverine claws?
I hide them.
Yeah, that's how he does it, too. Man, you're just full of surprises. Please don't gut me. Okay, so you sliced up this orange brutally and without notice. This is an orange, right?
Yes.
Okay, does that have to be any sort of special type of orange?
No, the only thing that I would suggest is that before you use it, wash it with some soap and water to get like all the nasty stuff off the outside surface, because you're going to use the whole orange. You use the whole orange, so this is just going to go into a pot or something, so it has to be clean. Right. Okay, now over here, we have this elaborate thing. This almost looks like you're about to summon some sort of monster or something. Okay, so let's start with that little flowery looking thing. What's that? This is an anise star. Anise star. Well, here, you know what? No, start with the stick and then use the stick to point at the other things. Okay. What's that? This is a cinnamon stick. Okay. I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with that. Okay. This is cardamom pods, or these are the seeds and these are the pods. Okay. You're going to use all of those, or all of it. These are whole cloves. This is ground nutmeg, and this is ground allspice. Okay, not the like wash your body allspice. No. So ground allspice, you can buy that in a store. It's labeled allspice. That's correct. Okay, and what was that star thing you were talking about? This is like, I don't know if it's anise, but it's like the whole pod. Okay, so it's some sort of pod thing. So you're going to take all these spices, you're going to take all these oranges and all this juice here, and what are you going to do? So all you do is you just stick the apple juice in a pot. Okay. Plenty of apple juice there. Stick the orange with everything in there. Mm-hmm. And they'll just kind of lift and separate. Yeah. And then dump everything. All your spices. In there. And then what? Turn on the oven about like, medium heat. Medium heat. I'll believe it. And then just, stir things around and let it heat up. The longer you cook it, the better it is. Of course, you don't want it to boil away, but this is something that you can kind of keep on. Once it heats up, you can keep it on low, and it'll just kind of sit there. So, like, if you want to make like a big batch and have a bunch of people over, it's and like the thing is, you can keep adding apple juice because the spices will keep. It's kind of like tea. You can keep infusing the apple juice with the spices. I mean, there's a certain point, but you can add a lot of apple juice. And one of the reasons for that is that you are going to actually, once this is done cooking, you're going to strain the spices and then add them back in, right? Correct, yeah. Okay, so we're just going to let this heat up for a little while, but while we do, Marion, why don't you tell us a little bit about what sorts of things you can add to this afterwards? Okay, so for those of you who like it a little sweeter, you can add a little bit of brown sugar to it. If you like it tartar, you can add a little bit of lemon juice. you can also add, after it's done cooking, actually, for adults, you can add a little bit of brandy or wine to it while it's cooking. It adds a nice flavor, and then after it's done cooking, you serve it, you can top off with either brandy or red wine.
Now, and that's one of those things, too, where different people have different tastes in alcohol. So, now with red wines, you recommended, in particular, a dry red.
Yeah, because it's already pretty sweet. You certainly don't want to use any expensive wines because
it's going to be overwhelmed by all the spices and flavor.
Yeah.
So this is something where you can really add a good punch to the wine you've already got.
Yeah.
To essentially cheaper red wine. Now you can also then, like in my case, I know sometimes you mix this with vodka. Although that might just be because we don't have other stuff in the house.
That's your taste.
Yeah, but I'm not as good at stirring this as you. It's like, I was going to say, it's really obvious on the camera that I'm just terrible at this, and you're great at everything. But, okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick time skip to this being done. We will see you all on the other side. So, now that this is about done, how do we strain this to get all the stuff out and back in for subsequent cups, or subsequent cups, for folks that like pronouncing things appropriately?
So you can do it the hard way. Go like that.
So, and then that just catches any of the spices or whatnot, so then you can add them back in to the brew here for continuing to keep everything seeping. I think you said is the right word, like tea? Seeping? Yep. So, even in here, though, we do have a little bit of, like, particulate matter, but that's like, what, just bits of orange and stuff?
Orange and nutmeg.
Orange and nutmeg. Sounds delicious to me. So let's go ahead and turn this around and do the good old-fashioned bite and smile. So, we have completed successfully our cups of cider. It is very awkward holding the phone with one hand and the cider with the other. And
oh, cheers, huh?
Oh, well, cheers.
Cheers.
Now we bite and smile. Don't actually bite it. But smile. It's delicious. Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, I need to keep Marion in the shot.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Impress all your family. And like I said, don't forget brandy, red wine, even vodka in a pinch. All right. That's for you adult folks. Stop getting out of the shot. I'm holding the camera in the same place. Dang it. All right. Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.